Good evening and welcome to the East Hampton City Council meeting of Wednesday, February 15th. Can I have the roll call, please?
Dan Carey.
Present.
Peg Coniff. Here. Salem Derby.
Present.
Jennifer Hayes.
Here.
JP Kaczynski.
Here.
Joe McCoy. Dan Rist.
Here.
Tamara Smith. Joy Winnie.
Here.
Thank you. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. We do not have any minutes to approve from February 1st, so those will be available at the next meeting. Is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak on an item that is not on our... Please come up and address the council. Please state your name and address for the record.
Annette Siegel, Mutter Street in East Hampton. My first thing was to say thank you to the DPW for keeping the roads clean. I don't drive a lot, but I walk a lot, so I can tell, so thank you. And then speaking of walking, I wanted to go to the last safety meeting, but it was canceled, so I'm hoping to get to the next one. Some of you know I'm the crossing guard at Holyoke and Clark and Stonepath Lane and Cottage Street, and I'm getting increasingly concerned with the speed of the traffic coming down Holyoke Street. I don't think many people know it's 25 miles an hour. And same thing coming up, okay? People just drive like they don't know what the speed is. And also the crosswalk in front of Nini's. I've already talked to the police about this or sent them a memo. And yeah, I don't know, we have to just, kind of think of something we can do about that. In the morning, I see cars driving around people trying to cross to go to school. I had one thought was, is there a possibility of making no parking there from 8 to 9 in the morning, on that side of the street so that it's a lot clearer.
No parking.
And I don't know if that's a possibility. And the other thing is, can we get bigger stop signs? I've had several near misses already this year on Clark Street because people, I guess, forget that you have to stop there. But, bigger stop signs and bigger signs that say the speed limit coming down. I don't know if that's a possibility, but those are some of my thoughts. And like I said, I'm going to go to the safety committee meeting and, kind of go over more things. But being the crossing guard, I'm only there for 2 hours. I know I can't imagine what it's like when I'm not there, but.
And what we can do is we'll put it on the agenda.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so communications from elected board and officials. We don't seem to have any, but I think that Councilor McCoy likes to open it up to new councilors to maybe give some updates on things that they're working on or other things that are happening. So, Councilor Hayes, do you have something you'd like to?
Yeah, in District 2, we're having a memorial benefit in honor of Trevor Wedley, who's the gentleman who's tragically lost his life in the Holyoke New Year's Day fire. And they're doing a fundraiser for his son. So 100% of the proceeds will go to his son. It is going to be held what's called the Boylston Room. That's in the Keystone Mill. That's the one right next to Eastworks. And it has like a new entryway on it. It is Saturday, February 18th from 4 to 10 p.m. And definitely family friendly. They're going to do like food and clowns and face painting and raffles and table tennis and a photo booth. So go give some money.
Okay,
Thank
you, Councilor Hayes. So Boylston Room, Saturday, February 18th from 4 to 10. Good cause. Thank you. Mayor Communications.
I just have one note I'd like to bring up. It's an agenda item, and I want to withdraw it from your agenda. It's on number 11. It's under your interdepartment transfers, the boiler heating repairs for the school. I want to withdraw that transfer because there was a discrepancy in the amount, and instead of altering it, I think the best way to do it is to take it off the agenda and then get the correct information and put it on there appropriately. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing the interdepartmental transfer, and I've already prepared a new supplemental. I've already given it to the clerk. So it'll be on your agenda for your next council meeting. Okay?
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, maybe we can cover that in new business. Okay.
Do anything because
Oh, sure. Okay, so reports of standing committees, Finance. Counselor Rist.
Thank you, sir. The first item up is the City Council budget proposal. You have it in front of you. Finance Committee met this evening, which, at 5:30, and we approved this budget. Going over it, there's a few changes. One is we voted at the beginning of this term to increase the council budget. So there's a $4,500 increase on the first salary line, which is because it's only for 6 months of the fiscal year. We don't begin that salary until the next term. There is an increase we voted on, a small increase for clerks. Everything else is, we did increase the miscellaneous office supplies quite a bit for 2 reasons. One is we decided the council travel budget wasn't sufficient to give to all the councilors sufficient funds for travel. And Barbara was very concerned that on occasion she has been in deficit. Just for everybody's information, intra-department transfers can happen. Barbara can ask the president to move any money interdepartmentally if we need to, and that doesn't need any approval except the department heads, because that's in the department. So that's where we're at, and I'd like to make a motion that the full council accept this budget presentation and send it off to the mayor for their consideration.
Second.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion on the topic? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or against? Okay, motion passes.
So I'd ask the clerk to send this along to the finance director and the mayor. Secondly, we have public hearings this evening. Our next meeting will be next Wednesday, February 22nd at 5 p.m. in downstairs room 1. And I'd like to take the opportunity to make a first reading. I'm going to ask the mayor only this question. I know you just wanted to take it off, but it occurred to me that since it's for boiler repairs, is there an issue of time on this?
They've obviously,
I mean,
because they were boiler repairs and the boilers died, they've had to replace them, so it will be
so
putting.
this is just reimbursement?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we don't have to remove that from the agenda because it was never placed in
Yes,
committee?
yes, you do.
You do?
Well, it's on the agenda, so I would remove it.
All right, then I suggest, then I'll make a motion to remove the $36,700 for heating repairs from the council's agenda without prejudice.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against or abstaining? Motion passes.
I'd like to do a first reading for an interdepartmental transfer. Request is hereby made for the approval of the following appropriation. The amount requested is $19,500 from the reserve fund, $19,500, to the following accounts: ambulance maintenance agreements, $2,000; ambulance medical supplies, $2,000; fire building and equipment repair, $2,000; fire education and training, $2,000; fire equipment, $1,500; and fire full-time regular, $10,000, for a total of $19,500. The amount requested will be used for the following purpose: to provide funds to the fire and ambulance departments for unexpected expenses and salary. The next item I will read for first reading is interdepartmental transfer for the following appropriation. The amount requested is $45,056 to be transferred from the reserve fund, $14,176. I'm confused. Mayor, why does it say 14,176? Shouldn't that be 45,056? I'm just going to amend that right now. Barbara, is that all right?
Then the last three are wrong as well.
They don't add up?
Nope.
We have a mathematical error on this, and I didn't notice it. I should have caught it before that. This should be here.
14,176.
14.
What should be 14?
The,
It should be 14,176.73.
not 45.
I mean, not 45. It's the 45 that's
The 45 is wrong?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 14 is right.
So I'd like to amend this interdepartmental transfer as presented to the council. The following appropriation has been requested. The amount requested is $14,176.73 to be transferred from the reserve fund. To be transferred to fire full-time regular, $11,314.03. fire uniform allowance, $600. Ambulance EMS incentive, $2,262.70. The amount requested will be used for the following purpose: to provide funds for the cost of hiring a new firefighter. The next item is the supplemental appropriation request, first reading. Request is hereby made for the approval of the following appropriation: $46,760 to be appropriated from capital stabilization. $46,760 to be appropriated to Capitol Police Ford Interceptor Utility Marker Cruiser. It's a capital request. For the following purpose: to provide funds to purchase a new Ford Interceptor Utility Marked Cruiser for the police department. I'd like to make a motion that these three items be sent to the Finance Committee for review.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
That concludes, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Rist. Public Safety, Councilor Hayes.
Thank you, Counselor Derby. We are still ongoing with the Mobilite poll location. We did cancel our prior meeting because of snow. So our next scheduled meeting is the first Tuesday of March.
Does that conclude?
Thus concludes.
Okay, thank you. There is no appointment report tonight.
Correct.
So I will just let that stand.
Could have done
Okay.
That's all right. I am here.
I do, so ordinance, I'll take. I just want to remind people that next Wednesday at 6 p.m. in these chambers, Ordinance Subcommittee will have a meeting where we will specifically be talking about the consideration of sanctuary city designation. So again, that's next week, next Wednesday at 6 p.m. in these chambers. And depending on how long that takes, we are hoping to look at some other of the items on our agenda. We do have some new business, which is a request from me to review the medical marijuana zoning ordinance. So I would like to put that in the form of a motion to move that to the subcommittee.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any against or abstaining? No? Okay, motion passes. That concludes. And I think we might be able to get these in here. Property, Councilor Kuzinski. That's a good one. Rules of Government Relations, Councilor Riss.
No report, sir.
Okay, and I think we have 1 minute left, so I will take that minute to announce that we do have the Nonotuck Park Ball Field Naming Committee. Tomorrow is the end of the 10-day posting period. So I believe the mayor, you have two already, okay? And I'm not sure if Joe has anybody, but if people are interested in being on this committee, it should happen very soon, like tomorrow. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. And I think that probably brings us.
I'll make a
Counselor.
I have a question. JP, on the property committee, why is there an item here? Is there a meeting
That
scheduled?
was just brought to our attention at the last meeting. We'll need to send some materials and do some reading and then schedule.
Okay, so I'm not behind the
Not
curve. Okay.
absolutely not. You're right on top of things.
All right, thank you.
I would entertain a motion.
To open the public hearing, so moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Mr. President,
we're
as,
open.
as I was not at the last Finance Committee meeting, I'm going to ask my colleague, Councilor Carey, to report out these two items, and I know he's going to bring our DPW director forward. I have some pictures here. One of them is the new snow removal machine, which they're using this evening, which he wanted everybody to see. And also, these are the items that we're going to be asking for this evening, so we should pass those around. Councilor Carey, take it over, please.
Thank you. So the Finance Committee met on January 25th to discuss these two. As Councilor Riss said, he wasn't there. I'll just say before I forget later, both of these requests passed with the two councilors who were there 2-0 in Finance. The first one, supplemental appropriation, $23,000 for the replacement of a dump body for a dump truck in the sewer department. And you can see the letter you all received from Director Paczynski about the dump truck, which is a 2003, and the cab, it would be good for another 5 to 8 years, but the dump truck, the dump body, where the waste from the catch basins goes, has eroded quite a bit because of what comes out of those catch basins. And you can see in the picture, it's been repaired a number of times in the DPW, just welding on metal to make a new floor as needed. But it's in rough shape. And also, just replacing the body would be $23,000. Replacing the whole truck would be between $110,000 and $125,000. So we were pretty happy with trying to get this replaced. And Director Pipchinsky was hoping that we'd be able to get this done so that they can get this dump truck back out on the road and for the rest of the winter and for the spring cleanup. So that's as much as I know about that. If you folks have any questions, the DPW director is here.
Good evening. I don't really have anything to add. Councilor Carey said it all. I mean,
Pictures tell the story.
That's exactly right. And like you said, the truck is 14 years old. The cab and chassis is in good shape. So what we'll do is we will take the body off it, and we will surplus that as surplus metal when we have our auction. And the company that we send it to will sandblast and paint the frame and install the new subframe and hoist and body. So hopefully by April we'll be good to go, continue our maintenance.
As always, we're excited with the DPW's due diligence in reusing their trucks and saving us as much money as we can as we go along.
So before we get a motion,
Public.
that's what I was going to ask for.
Yes.
I've been doing this a while. Any comments from councilors or anyone from the public like to comment on this? Okay, that being said, I'd entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the supplemental appropriation request, the amount of $23,000 to be appropriated from enterprise retained earnings, $23,000 to be appropriated to capital sewer FY17 Unit 37 dump truck body. The amount requested will be used for the following purpose: to provide funds for the replacement of a dump body for a dump truck in the sewer department.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any against or abstain? Motion passes.
The second public hearing is also from the DPW department, $150,000 for the Ferry Street water main crossing. And again, in the letter you received, that tells the story that we need to replace this, but the picture really tells the story. And as that goes around, you're looking at the brown pipe, which I may or may not have pointed to an arrow to before I realized my copy was going to be passed around. And you can see how it's not level, and it's clearly old, and we were told it could go at any point. You can see how it's attached coming from the top of that pipe. There aren't as many things holding it to the bridge as there used to be, and the ones that are left could be going right now for all we know. And so the design for the new one was really interesting to hear about. It wouldn't have to go under the bridge. Apparently the new norm for these types of pipes is it'll come along the bottom and go up and along the bridge above ground on the north side, on the old mill side. There's one of those already in town that was installed on Park Street, and the DPW is happy with the way that one works, and they're looking forward to replacing this old one with this new one. As it said in the letter, in 2016, the council approved the design, and the engineers have come back with that design for this project, and the estimate coming from them is this $150,000. And again, that was approved 2-0 at the last finance meeting, and they're hoping to get construction started in the spring if approved tonight.
Councilor Rist.
Director, I know this is serious. Are you going to be able to get this done fairly soon, or what happens if it fails? This is a water main, correct?
That's correct, and we've kind of been holding our breath for the last year while we went through the process of design and everything. And that provides water both ways. So if we lose that section, we have to shut it down, and we lose the ability to get water to the East Street end of town through that pipe. It's got to come down Holyoke Street. It could affect fire flows because at a time when you need a lot of water, you're not going to get it through that pipe. It's got to come another way, so your fire flows could go down.
But you have an alternative way of getting water, you said down Holyoke, so
That's
it's not like
correct.
the residents are gonna be out of water for a while while
No,
you
no, we
repair
can
it.
still supply water, but you won't get the flows that you need in an emergency.
But, so while it's being repaired even, there's still water available?
While it's being repaired, it will still be in use. That pipe that goes underneath there, and again, Councilor Carey did a great job explaining, it's a 100-year-old pipe. It's a 12-inch cast iron main, and it just happens to have a joint in the middle of that bridge. And the hangers, many of the hangers are already rotted off. So that pipe is already, it's not straight across, it's already starting to sag. So it's something that has to be looked at, has to be dealt with, because we want to be proactive and not reactive.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, it looked like there were some other pipes under there with that.
Oh,
And, so are those our pipes or those
gas pipes.
gas? So, I don't know, is this a dumb question? Does it make sense if we're doing the work there to contact Columbia Gas? Do they know, is that pipe in as bad shape as the one we're replacing? Or similarly? I mean, it looks kind of old.
You mean the gas mains?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know one of those mains in there is brand new.
Okay.
The other one, I don't even know if it's still in service. But again, when you're dealing with hanging something underneath the bridge, you have to deal with MassDOT because it's got to go through a structural engineer, and they've got to figure out, can you hang that weight on that bridge? Is it going to affect the integrity of the bridge and so forth? So we hired this engineering firm that their specialty is overhead pipes, so it's going to make it a lot simpler.
Great. Okay, any other questions from the council? Anybody from the public? Okay, none being seen, I'm willing to entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the supplemental appropriation request in the amount of $150,000 to be appropriated from enterprise retained earnings, $150,000 to be appropriated to Capital Water, Ferry Street Water Main Crossing, $150,000 to be used for the following purpose: to provide funds for the replacement of the water main crossing at the Ferry Street Bridge.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion passes. Willing to have a motion to...
Move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Now, I believe we took care of most of our new business. Unless anybody else has anything they'd like to add, I'd be... Oh, yeah. Councilor Rennie.
I just want to remind people that they have up to 12 hours after a storm to remove snow and ice and to sand their sidewalks if they abut to a sidewalk on their property. I've been getting some complaints from people that the sidewalks aren't being cleared in a timely fashion, and when they do clear them, they're not sanding them, they're icy, and some of them are even impassable. I'm glad is Joe still here, or did he slip out? When we, so Councilor Derby, when we did the snow removal ordinances, did we put anything in there about putting snow in the public way?
We did not.
That falls under the plastic bag, the newspaper.
Yeah, I know, I
bag
was
thing.
looking, I got the ordinances up right now, and I'm just looking at them, and
Chapter 8.
yeah, I see that, but it doesn't specifically say snow. It does? It says ashes, and it says sand, and,
Questioning Barbara.
no, I know, no, no, it's saying.
That's not a thing to do.
No, I'm looking at it, and
We just found it today.
oh, did you? Okay, so it's under section 8-1?
Correct.
Okay, all right, well.
Thank you,
Right.
Councilor Winnie. I appreciate
So, yeah, I just want to remind people that you can't put the snow in the roads either,
And
so.
to speak to that, the DPW does give out sand. It's available at the yard.
Yeah,
True. And another public service announcement is fire hydrants should also be shoveled and cleared off, so Chief Motter doesn't get upset.
see snow.
Oh,
I think that's it.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good job, everybody.
We got to sign.